about they can sell it to you, it's not for sale. Give me your hand. Hold your sleeve up a little bit. Now watch this. This is just demonstration. You see. Hold on, wait a minute. That's your nationality. It's in your blood.
Class after the class.
Can I sell it to you? It's an issue of when you become conscious, don't it? Isn't it? That's metaphysical. It's spiritual. That's why it is said in the ancient temples of Mizraim in Nubia, man, know thyself. No, listen to what I'm saying. If you don't know that, the political act of nationalizing has no potency. And you can be fooled. I can come and sell you a package that was $800, $2,000, $5,000. You'll be all impressed until you find out that you're in the same condition later on. But if you understand nationality, if you had no penny in your pocket, you begin to exercise powers that no one gives you that already resides with you. But you must study it to understand its effect in society. Do you understand? And so our duty, even with our weaknesses and our shortcomings, and we got plenty of them, is to try to make sure that you get the basics as my brother, that we can join hands then get something done. Do you understand? Without me trying to take advantage of you, without me trying to make you a believer and be passing around the pillowcase type stuff, that's nails bullshit. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's for us to exercise. And like when we was talking upstairs, and these brothers, they've been producing things for quite some time. The deal of it is they are the indigenes of the land. And it's not that we haven't done business with other nations, but they shouldn't be dominating the trade.
That's right.
No, they should.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like when these brothers, they be doing a lot of good work, right? I'd say, oh man, brother, I ain't seen you in a minute. That's because he went to China somewhere looking at some factories, and not because he needed a passport from the state of New damn York. Because he should be coming in from his own nation. Even in the same territory, because foreign doesn't mean distance, it means jurisdiction. Our issue is that we're trying to get this understanding to our people because the passion that they've been exercising in their different organizations is misdirected. They got the passion, but it's sort of like having gas with the hose cut. It keeps going on the ground, the car keeps on chugging. And that's what our thing is. So we got a lot of organizations, but we always chugging along. And then we get mad at each other when that ain't really what it's about. It's that we don't understand government.
That's right, Elder.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And so it's our job to make sure that you understand it. Not, I ain't giving you a daggone thing. I'm unconstipating you. That's all. But it's your shit.
That's right.
And no,
That's something.
no, and it's the same thing with the wealth and the birthright. And that's the truth about birthright. Getting anything. It's a, you know what it is really? It's God.
We building our own police. That's like, is that like?
Let me say this. This is what it is. As an example, the elder knows. Good to see you. Now, when I went to court, when they kidnapped me last time, and the judge started talking about the tickets and everything, he started talking about subject matter. I said, object. Right? You already have the documents. Do I have a contract with you? And did you return the writ of discovery? Then he talked to the prosecutor. You had the papers and everything. Then he told the prosecutor, you know, Mr. Bay, we have no claims with you whatsoever. They have to deal with this right on now. Dismissed. Bam. So I'm out. Then I got to deal with other crap. But that was done. It's because he understood that I understood what his obligations are, not whether I ain't arguing a damn thing.
That's right. He understood that you are.
No, because I'm 360. I ain't Grand Sheik just for the title. But the Grand Sheik title belongs to the people.
That's right.
I only use it when I'm functioning in the temple or business for the people. Other than that, I'm just a brother and sister. But that's your right too. What people need to understand about the Moorish movement is that it's about birthrights. It's not about believing a damn thing.
Thank you.
It's about exercising rights that already belong to you, that others are already aware of, that don't want you to know, because they're living off your virtues. So they're not going to sit up and have this discussion with you. But don't think because they ain't having a discussion that they don't know. They know very well the wealth of this nation is on your back. And not because of racism, because they got your birthright.
How many
So our job...
How many solutions are hers? All of them?
All of them are hers.
Thank you.
And so, my issue with you, with your enthusiasm, and which I respect, and I'm really fired up about that. But if I understand government, I'm not going to sit around and just pat you on the back and hug you and everything because you fired up. Because I already know in the real world you would be impotent until you really understand what their obligations are that precede the adoption of that Constitution. So I would not sit up here and be talking about let's make a commercial contract that binds them, but you can't make a contract or treaty that binds them that don't supersede your entry. It must supersede before you was born for you to enforce law on them. What point you don't get this? I mean, you ain't gonna make up no horse and make him ride it. Unless he had a contract with your forefathers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he ain't got a contract with you just like you ain't got a contract with him. But he got a note that he took that supersede your birth. Drew Ali brought your nationality and your birthright back. Now study it and start enforcing law of the land because it supersedes him. That's why you don't see these Europeans talking about republic. They keep saying democracy. This ain't no damn democracy. This is a republic and you're the sovereign who's been overthrown. You are the Great Seal. Do you understand what I'm saying? And if you don't exercise it, if you don't recognize your own free national government by name and by principle, it's a waiver. You've abandoned it. And that's what they're operating on. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you're not going to create some government. You're going to study law and enforce the government because you're the government. But you can't be that if you're going around calling yourself crayons. Well, I'm a light-skinned, orange-skinned, green guy, and our light-skinned, orange-skinned, green, yellow rights guy. You know, you start talking that trash and see, nobody on this planet will recognize you. Do you understand what I'm saying? You'll never see somebody from Somalia or Egypt, Misraim, Zimbabwe come talking about they light-skinned, orange-skinned, green guys. They will come with their nationality, exercise international law, open up that building over there that was empty since you was going to school, start business, and have elections out there next year. If we ain't figured it out yet, because we keep on trying to reinvent the wheel, they enforcing the law that already exists. Learn the law and enforce it. So learn the truth about your nationality and your birthrights, and exercise it. Failure to do so, it's called a waiver. And if you waive your rights, it ain't like they're going to give them to you. And you ain't got to invent it. You ain't got to have a meeting to make it up. It already exists. You got to learn what they are. So you got to know yourself, don't you? You see the point that I'm saying to you? So if you make the statement, we've got to make a government, right there they already know you don't know. And guess what? Right there you just lost your birthright. See, in law, all law is specific. And when you don't know, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Exactly. And they're going to roll you. Don't call it prejudice. It's birthright theft. But if somebody can get you to argue prejudice, they got you off key. You be arguing to next week, to next Sunday, to next generation, and get nothing. You start arguing birthright and start filing RICO acts on them and Title 18s against them, then you start having some effect. Start enforcing that Constitution. That's why when you read Article 6 of the Constitution, it says all debts and engagements entered into before the adoption of this Constitution shall be binding against the United States under this Constitution as well as under the Confederation. And all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States shall be the supreme law of the land. That's the numbers that I'm enforcing. That's your tax. See, so now if you know it, then do you need a UCC for that? You need to enforce the Constitution like Drew Ali told you, and still stop thinking that he's some spooky guy man saying some prayer. He enforcing law. He's a lawman. Our people, he's been misrepresented to our people. That's why we're impotent.
What about those that say that, you know, the government is tricky? They
yes,
don't honor. They don't honor.
You know how? You're absolutely correct. Color of government is tricky. Government, just saying it loosely like that, that's generic, isn't it? And it's just like when people say the law says, right? So we got to make sure our people know the distinction between de jure law and a color of law. De jure people and colored people. That's two different categories. De jure people is a natural living being that has birthrights divine. A colored person is a corporate instrument made on paper. That's a fake. It's a fiction. It's a Santa Clausky. Don't talk about rights because it doesn't apply. Once you understand these rules, you won't take it personal. But if you think that colored people is some people from Africa, you take it personal, not knowing its a legal status. Then you're going to try to defend that when it's actually not defendable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, once you study law and anthropology and world history, you will understand why other Asiatics from Africa, etc., don't come here and start talking about they light-skinned yellow guys. You know, and then we get mad at them because they ain't calling themselves light-skinned, black-skinned, orange-skinned, purple people. Oh, they trying to be against the brothers. You know, and this is what our problem is.